And here we are again. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Ranking the Tracks. Tom and Andy here live on a Wednesday evening for me. A snowy night here in the Northeast. And I won't be going anywhere anytime soon. But I can't say the same for my partner there in sunny Arizona.
Yes, but
But
getting
he's
but chillier, chillier,
chillier,
sunny.
but he's still in the Christmas spirit. He's
Yes,
he's he's with me in spirit, rocking that Santa hat, and even though
yes,
I'm staring out my window at a foot of snow, but we're here again for another episode of Ranking the Tracks, and this week
yes.
it's Band on the Run. So good evening, Thomas.
Good evening, Andy. Good to see you again, my friend. It seems like we just were chatting a couple hours ago with
Were we?
with a friend that we'll talk about later on in the show here.
Yeah.
But once again, it's ranking the tracks. It's band on the run. It's live two legs, and hopefully we'll see a bunch of our usuals here giving us their input on how they rank band on the run. So looking forward to that. Andy, my
Yep.
friend, it's time. Okay, so let's get. I mean, more news. I mean, every
We
week
got
is
news. We got news. We got
it's just
let's see.
like
Hi,
nonstop.
Joe. Joe's here.
Hey, Joe.
And Joe Montaneo. Hi, Joe. Jacob Blair. Hello, hello, hello.
Right.
Yeah, so we had some news today.
Yeah,
Paul
we got.
Paul related.
Yeah, two Paul related items. We got a new Ringo track called what? Here's to the Night. It's part of his new EP that's going to be coming out in March. You can pre-order that now. I did pre-order the CD and the vinyl earlier today. So the track Here's to the Night, written by Diane Warren, I believe her name is, well-renowned songwriter. She wrote that I Don't Want to Miss a Thing song for Aerosmith. That became a
Oh,
big,
okay.
their big sellout single there, and
Really
I think
sellout. Why is it sellout?
yeah, we'll get into that another time.
That's a good
Um,
song, man.
yeah, it's lame. It's not Aerosmith. Anyways, so yeah, listen to it earlier. I'm gonna save my opinion on it for talk more talk. I want to listen to it again. I mean, I listened to it earlier today only once, and I wasn't feeling it, but I want to give it a couple more listens before I really say my
Say that you
feelings
don't
about it.
like it because
Yes,
you're not going to change your mind. Come on.
we'll see. I hope not. I
Um,
shouldn't say hope not, but anyways, I did get an emails earlier today saying that my Target CD shipped. So hopefully I'll be getting that in the mail either tomorrow or Friday. It would be nice to get something in early for a change. I know a friend of ours that got something early today as well, and
yes, he did. Yes, he
already
did, and
did a
he's watching
video.
it right now. Yes, he did. But it's a legit video because he got a
It's
real
a
copy.
it's a legit video, so good on you, Joe, for
Good on you, Joe, for
reviewing
doing
the
it. You did
legit video and not the leaked
you didn't do
version.
the leak. You did a real CD. So,
Yeah.
Tom and I, this is a busy week for two legs. So
Yes.
we recorded today earlier for
Earlier
our
today.
episode that's going to go on Saturday.
Yes.
We'll be going live on Friday night at 9 o'clock for our instant live reaction of McCartney 3 as well.
Exactly. In other news, we did get a trailer regarding this McCartney Rick Rubin
Yeah,
documentary, which
this looks really good.
and it's almost like those scenes in Beatle Anthology when they're sitting at the council and and they're playing the songs, the actual recordings, and then they're playing around with the knobs, and it's like kind of like the isolated
Looks like
tracks,
look like they're playing some Beatles songs, and you hear a little
Yeah.
Lovely Rita on there.
Yeah, and you,
So
and you hear some McCartney solo tracks like "Live and Let Die." I think you hear Michelle at one point too. So
yeah,
definitely need to go back and check that out as well.
we'll
So
catch up on some comments
yeah,
here.
go ahead. Yeah.
Joe Mantaneo say hey, he's waiting to listen to all the reviews. Very good.
Yes.
He was messed up with his target order. Ah, okay.
Mm.
Joe likes the Ringo song.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, he does.
And Susan's here tonight, our friend Susan.
Susan.
And I will forever associate you with the Buckingham song now, Susan. I always will do that now. It's not
Very
snowing in
good.
Maine, but we'll get blasted tonight and sometime tomorrow. Well, I mean, Susan, you're in Maine. Your middle
Yeah.
name is Snow up there.
That's funny. Another
Susan,
new. Oh, go ahead.
so one sec. Susan said she heard on Ed Chen's latest podcast, Tom, that
Right.
you've got every variant of McCartney 3. You're not alone, so did she.
Well, I did not, but close. Very close.
Oh, yeah,
So,
rub it in some more.
it's not my fault. Anyways,
It's the sickness. Just say it's the
it's the
sickness.
sickness. It's the sickness. There you go. Thank
Macafilm 66. Hey, how are
Hey,
you?
Mecca. Hope you're doing all right. So, also, McCartney on Howard Stern once again. Seems like this is becoming a
A
regular
regular, very
occurrence.
regular thing. This one I think was
Yeah.
the. I mean, it was only about an hour and change long.
Okay.
That was good. I've listened to half of it. Some really interesting commentary on that one. Paul talking about his John and his father's relationship,
Right.
which you don't hear Paul talk about too often. So that was interesting. Again, I've only heard half of it.
Right.
It was a pretty good interview, and they seem to be doing a lot more of those lately.
Okay. So, I mean, who wouldn't want, an hour with McCartney? I mean,
We do.
yeah,
We
exactly,
do.
right.
We do.
Oh man, it's crazy things. I also want to talk about one thing that a friend of the show, his name is Paul Saley. People out there may know him from working on the Little Wing, the Jimmy McCullough story. He is now at the moment doing taking vinyl and making them into the vinyl bowls. And he did this for me. He was promoting this, I think 2 weeks ago on his Facebook page. And I saw it and I asked him if he had a McCartney one. He said he did, or I should say an extra McCartney album. I didn't mean the McCartney album, but
Oh,
that's what
so
I
he
ended up.
made it for you? You didn't send it to
Yeah,
him?
I didn't send him. Yeah, so he had an extra McCartney lying around, so he did that for me, and then
So
obviously.
you could put chips in there, but not
Oh,
dip
absolutely.
because of the hole. So,
Oh, well, I mean, if you got the dip in a bowl, you can still put it in the middle and then the chips around. I don't know if I would do that. I don't even know how I'm going to display this thing yet.
put it on the
But
coffee table with some Tostitos chips in it.
yeah,
Come
there
on.
you go. Something like that. So if you are interested, Paul Saley, SAEE or LLEY, I believe it is, you can PM him and he can ship this out for you. $10. I thought, what the hell? It wasn't really that expensive. So I really dig it. And yeah. So that's that. So check that
Very
out if
cool.
you are. Yeah.
If you have a
You
couple of
said you got a
spare
place near.
records, yeah, if you have a couple of spare
Yeah,
records, you could send them to him and he'll turn them into that as
exactly.
well.
Right. You said you got a place near you that does this?
I do. There's a record store near me in New Jersey. They do all kinds of stuff like that. They actually take the inside labels and they cut them
Label.
out and they
Right.
sell them as coasters.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I have a ton of them. So
Really?
they'll cut them out and they'll clean them up and
Right.
they sell those like $5 each for coasters.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Very cool.
they're pretty
Very
cool.
cool.
So
Nice. Excellent.
yeah,
Okay, so
that's the news. So now we
well, that's the news.
tackle the fifth one. Oof.
The fifth, yeah, volume 5 of ranking the tracks. We are going to do the UK version.
9
Don't worry,
tracks.
because 9 tracks. Don't worry, because Helen Wheels will be included in a later episode when we get done with the 70s. Meaning when we get done with Back to the Egg, what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to count down all the non-album singles and probably all the non-album B-sides as well. So that'll be a killer episode as well. So
And I know that there are some people that when we looked at the votes that
right.
came in real time before the bowls closed for this one, people said I know that there were some people out there, including Kit
Right.
and Joe, that wanted that they were like, you got to include Hell on Wheels,
Right.
And as most Americans grew up with that version, we all did. But in hindsight, now that the album has been universally released and Paul's original vision with the 9 tracks, it does kind of seem out of place for me. The Hell on
Okay.
Wheels, I don't know, but this kind of Tom and I both felt that look, these are the albums as Paul originally constructed them, and that's how we're gonna rank them.
Right.
See, there's Joe. Hell
Yeah.
on Wheels belongs on the LP. I disagree.
Okay, Joe, that's fine because you know what? I'm sure you have this. And guess what? Helen Wheels is on there.
Hell on
And
Wheels is on this too, Joe. So just if you
Yeah.
listen, it's on this, and it's
Right.
on,
and it's on the 25th
and
anniversary.
it's on this too, the double
on the
LP.
yeah, it's on the 25th anniversary release. So you got that. It is not, however, on the latest, the
No.
2017 Capitol release, where it is finally not on a U.S. record right there. And I don't believe it was on the 2010 release either.
It was as a bonus track, but that was
Right,
it.
right. On
So,
the
Joe, if you
second.
really want to jump on the M6 South out of Liverpool to where they hear the West Coast sound, just go get another copy of the American copy and go listen to it.
All right. So hopefully nobody tunes out because we're not doing um, Hell on Wheels right now. But Hell on Wheels will make an appearance a couple of weeks from now. We promise. Okay. So last week, hold on wait a second. I just lost you. Are you
I
there?
got
Can
you.
you hear me?
I
Okay.
got you.
For some reason I disappeared. There I go. Okay. Anyways, so we're gonna do Band on the Run. Here we go. I went first last week. Andy, you are first this week. So you're number 9, please.
Number 9 for me is "Let Me Roll It," the song that's been in every McCartney set list since 1976. That's number 9 for me. Tom had mentioned in promoting this show we were going to see where the fatigue factor ranked in with our rankings. This definitely fits that bill. It's a great song. I'm just tired of it.
Right.
I'm just tired of it. I am tired of hearing it live. I get it. It's a great rocker jam, rocking out, little Lennon esque type stuff. I'm just tired of it. Good song. I'm
Yeah.
just tired of it, and that's why it is my number 9. So
Understood. And I'll add 2 cents when I mention it as well. But my number 9 is Pneumonia. The proposed. From my understanding, this was the proposed first single for the album, which I think would have been a disaster if that was the case. Pneumonia, honestly, it's like another Hey Diddle, another Mama's Little Girl.
Oh,
You know,
no way.
yeah. For
No
me,
way.
it's just it's I think I like what Mark Easter and Chip Manninger put in the Eight Arms to Hold You book. It's so lightweight that it would float.
So what?
Uh, I know. Listen, I don't consider
I'll
it
okay.
lightweight or whatnot. I don't do that whole
Yeah, I was gonna
lightweight.
say, yeah, you don't do the lightweight
No,
stuff.
no. But I just thought it was funny that they mentioned that. So, but
Okay.
Pneumonia, it's just a song that I've never cared for.
Yeah. All right. A couple comments here. Bill Leary says, "Good choice, Andy." Thank you, Bill.
Mm.
Oliver says, "Picasso says number 9." Susan agrees with Joe.
Mm.
Joe says, "Ammonia." Kit, no, "Let Me Roll It" is great. I get the overplayed issue though. Okay.
Right. See, we're
Uh,
fatigue in this one for sure.
yeah. FD Superstar, where would you rank "Let Me Roll It" when you first bought the album?
See, and that's the thing. That's the
Fair
thing.
question.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. If we were ranking the tracks in 1974, you know what?
It would
After
be. It would be.
it would be in the top 5 probably.
Easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
exactly.
Easily.
Fast forward 40 years or so, you know,
It's just fatigue. It's fatigued. You
and that
know,
damn Jimi Hendrix bit after he's done playing it. I mean, it's so played out. You know,
enough. Play Mamunia live. He's played every song
no,
from the album. He's played every song off of this freaking album, and not Mamunia. Come on.
true. All right,
Yeah.
number 8 for you, buddy.
Serge also said Mamunia is the only song he hasn't done live from this album. Very
Right,
true.
that's true.
Number 8 for me, Mrs. Vanderbilt.
Okay, wow.
And that's purely just on a good. Again, every song on this album I enjoy. It's just, do I enjoy some more than others? As I'm sure Tom will agree.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Vanderbilt for me, just a little repetitive. Awesome. I got to see him perform that in 2009 at Citi Field.
Very cool.
That was awesome because he dusted that one off again. And to hear a deep cut from Band on the Run was awesome.
Right.
Which he did with another song later on this album, which we'll get to. But good track. I liked how he revisited it when Wingspan documentary, when he was talking to his daughter Mary.
Right.
He was just thinking about the words and he kind of was just strumming it. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a little bit wordy. I like it, but I just like the other songs more.
Very good.
That's all.
Very good.
Tom Brennan agrees with me. Win.
Good job, Tom. Number 8 for me, Picasso's Last Words. These two songs, Pneumonia and Picasso's Last Words, could have gone either way for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, Picasso, he should have got a half a songwriting credit for this. I mean, because McCartney is just pretty much ripping off what he said, his last words that were in the newspaper. Really, it's McCartney trying to do what? Go ahead. What?
The Queen, you're
Yeah.
killing me, Andy. This is Vanderbilt rocks. We'll take this outside. I got to call in the Secret Service. The
Yeah,
Queen coming after me.
Oh man,
Go
Picasso's last words. I mean, it's him doing a Lennon almost. It's in a way, kind of lazy in a way, just taking words from a newspaper, putting it into song. I've never been a big fan of the second half where they go and jet. Ooh, that whole constructed crazy bit. I do like the orchestration throughout this song. Tony Visconti did a great
Tony Visconti.
yeah, did great orchestration throughout that bit, but just never been a big fan of that whole second half of the song. And you kind of get the feeling, it's kind of like an early feeling of the London Town vibe, at the beginning, with
right,
folksy, in a way,
folksy beginning,
so, but again, just one that I've never cared for.
Never cared for.
Right.
Bill Leary said Dustin Hoffman inspired Picasso.
Yes,
absolutely.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he inspired it, more influenced McCartney to write a song, out of the blue. Just
he said they were at the dinner. Can you write a song? And they had a copy of Time magazine.
Exactly. Here you go. Take a
and do it. And of course Dustin Hoffman, like, mind was blown because he was writing, doing it at the same time.
Yeah. And do you know what movie Justin Hoffman was filming when that happened? That dinner happened.
I forgot. What was it?
Papillon with Steve McQueen.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Steve McQueen, right. The film guru that you are. You knew that, of course.
Yes.
Queen agrees with Tom. Picasso's last words is just okay for her.
Mm-hmm.
Macafilms loves Denny's vocals on Picasso. I do too.
Yeah, he opens.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
When I rank it. So that's your number
7.
That's your number 7. Okay.
Yeah, so we're already at number 6 now.
No, 7.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead.
7. 7. Shadow Production says 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting ready for bed. That's right, Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, because he knows the song very well. It's a friend of mine, so he knows.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he knows the song quite well.
All right. Well, let's not continue till 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's get this over with.
Listen, we could continue to 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody be watching, but we could.
Yeah, right.
We could. Number 7 for me is Bluebird. Track 3. I like it. I don't love it, and I like the playing in it, and again, the harmonies on it are great. Bluebird, classic early Wings, Paul Linder and Denny on that track.
Right.
Of course, live '76 is great too. But again, I just like the other stuff. I feel very strongly about the other 5 or 6 tracks. So that these are like the bottom 3 or 4.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha.
That's all. Again, it's not a song I skip. I really enjoy Bluebird. I wouldn't skip the song. I just like everything else a lot more.
Understood. My number 7 is also Bluebird. Again, it's, I like the playing throughout. I mean, it's just, again, it's just, I feel as like it's just one of those songs that McCartney can do in his sleep. Nothing really special about it. However, I do. Is it Howie Casey that does Howie Casey does the sax solo throughout or towards the end of that song. Amazing. Great job, Howie.
Yes.
Really, really cool solo. The singing throughout it, I like the harmonies throughout it, but lyrically,
middle of the road.
Middle of the road. We are the Bluebirds. Great.
Right. And again, him and these birds, as in one, we're going to talk about a lot about birds on Friday night when we get freaking McCartney 3. Birds. Kid, I love the live. Kid makes a great point. The live version of Bluebird and Rock Show. The live version kicks.
And
middle of the concert, acoustic setup. That's great. The live
and like
version.
A lot of songs, a lot of McCartney songs, just come alive live.
Yeah.
Or they just have a whole nother feel to them.
Do.
And that just makes them more excitable, more enjoyable.
They absolutely do. And I think that in the case of a lot of these songs especially on this album, I enjoy the versions on Band on the Run better than the studio tracks.
Gotcha.
That's just me. So you're up next, right? Or is it me?
No. That's you, buddy.
Right. So this is my number 6 My number 6 is the aforementioned Picasso's Last Words, which was Tom's number 8.
Right.
Now we're starting to get kind of to the my higher rankings.
Right.
I like Picasso's Last Words for all the things Tom does not. He does not
Mm,
like this the second half of the song
right.
where these other motifs are kind of all coming in together. I like that because to me, that's Beatle Paul kind of
Right.
infusing a medley together of other
Right.
themes represented on the album. You're hearing
I
Jet,
agree.
you're hearing
Right.
Mrs. Vanderbilt,
They'll-
all in another song. And to me, that's pure McCartney. So when McCartney's
Yeah.
doing that and pulling all these elements in
Right.
to the other now, and you mentioned the orchestration's off the charts, great.
Right.
And then he's got a great kind of vocal in it towards the end of it. And I'll be waiting for you. That's
Right.
just that part's great.
Yeah.
So it's always been one of the, and it's one of those rare songs where a little bit of Denny to open the track,
Yep.
and then it goes
Yep.
to
Yep.
Paul. So it's a
Paul.
very unique Wings track in
No,
that
it is.
in that
It
regard.
is.
Opens
Very
up
experimental too.
very
Early.
experimental.
Right.
So
So I do
um,
appreciate when he does stuff like that. I do. It just doesn't always work for my ears.
right, Bill Leary, Paul is king of the mini sweet song, absolutely,
Mhm.
and that's what
Agreed.
this is. So that's kind of but it's funny live. You didn't get the whole version. You only
No,
got
you did not. Right. But however, at 5:49, a little too long.
agreed.
Just under 6 minutes. I mean,
Agreed, very agreed. But I for the kind of the mini sweet kind of stuff going on in that song, that's
right.
why I have it ranked as my number 6.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So now my number 6.
Joe, get lost because Joe's not agreeing with many of my choices here, but
Really?
oh well, oh well, Joe.
I know everybody's got their own opinion. That's
To each
great.
his own, pal.
Yes. Number 6 for me. Again, this is where the fatigue factor comes in, but I had to put this higher. I couldn't put this last because I do recognize that it is a really good song, and I do recognize that if we were to rank these tracks in 74, 75, 76, I probably would put Let Me Roll It up a little higher as well. But Let Me Roll It is my number 6.
Okay.
Again, it's just a riff. And that's all it is throughout the whole damn song. If there's any McCartney song that screams a guitar solo, it's this. And they both can play. We know they can both do good, or at least Paul can do great guitar solos because there's going to be a couple that we'll talk about here, in songs that we're going to be talking about here soon. We know they're capable of doing really good guitar solos. Why does the break just have to continue to be the same riff over and over again? Just change it up a little bit,
The best part of the song is like the double ending. Dun-dun,
Yeah.
dun-dun.
That's good. Right. And I'm
That's
tired of
about
people
it.
thinking that this is a drug song. Just because he says "Let me roll it," it's not a drug song.
No, it's
What does he
not.
say before "Let me roll it"?
My heart
My
is like a
heart-
wheel.
Exactly. Boom. Let me roll it to you. Okay. It's not a damn joint, people.
No, relax. They might have rolled joints on the album cover, but it's not,
It might have not been the only thing they were doing on the album cover.
Who knows? Who knows? But fatigue factors in for you and I on that song for sure. So
Absolutely. And every time that I've seen him do it, he's done it live.
yeah.
So.
Number 5 for me.
Yeah.
Now this is where we start to get the higher rankings. Everything I really really enjoy everything from here on out.
Right.
Number 5, No Words. Which I
Yes.
think if I'm a betting man, Tom probably has that ranked a little bit higher than me.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Because I know he feels strongly about that song, and I do too. But I just like the other stuff better. No Words. Again, the first song that Paul and Denny Lane wrote together.
No, I think it's just the Paul and Linda written track. To be honest, with you.
Not according to Denny.
Okay, well, in my credits here, it's credited to Paul and Linda McCartney.
Officially, but when he played it live, he said this is one of the first songs we ever wrote together. So
I'm not the one to argue. I'm just stating what's on the,
I'm only stating what's said
Yeah.
by the guy who played on the song.
Fair enough.
Now, what's written down paper, he didn't get a co-write credit. I always thought maybe he did. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe he did.
Great song, harmonies throughout the whole thing. Could have
Right.
been a single, I always thought, maybe.
Right.
No Words. And again, one of those rare tracks that were played live on the 79 tour.
Right.
Paul, Linda, and Denny throughout. Just a good deep album cut, but a great song nonetheless. No Words from me. Number 5.
Great track. Number 5.
It's credited Lane McCartney, says Macafilms 66.
Really? Where do you see that?
Well, we'll ask him.
Okay. Anyways, that's fine. I appreciate that. Thank you. Because
Number 5 for you.
for number 5 for me, Mrs. Vanderbilt. Again, this the top half of the album is very strong. And again, this I am kind of fatigued on this one, but not as much as say "Let Me Roll It." Because you do hear this one quite a bit. I did hear this one a lot on classic rock radio when I lived in Michigan. They did play this one quite a bit. But the hey ho's, they can grow. Grain on you after a while, just like the whoa whoa whoas from Mila. Sometimes he has a tendency to take that bit of a song and just kind of like maybe overexpose it a little too much.
Right. Plus, when he played it live, he turned it into this whole big like Russian like dance thing at the end.
Right.
He really extended the whole ho hey ho thing.
Right. But these songs, I love it. Down in the jungle, live in a tent. You don't use money, don't pay rent. I mean, I just love the quickness of that part. It's unique. It's fun. But there's some better songs on the album for sure.
I never got the whole "Leave Me Alone, Mrs. Washington" bit. After all, I never.
Oh, they changed up. You know what? That's an homage to. It's probably an homage to Mrs. Robinson.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, anyways.
Another comment here. Tom Brennan says he has Bluebirdified, but he loves the one-hand clapping version of Bluebird.
See,
good point. The one-hand clapping versions, as we got on the archive edition, are so alive in the studio. Though the version of Band on the Run, Jet, Bluebird, those one-hand clapping versions are tremendous. So good point, Tom. Yeah.
Good job, my friend. Good job. Okay, you're number 4. Right? Are we down to 4 or 3?
4. Down to 4. And my number 4 is the song that opens up side 2, Mamunia. Yes, I have it ranked number 4, Kit and Joe Mayo. I'm talking to you. Yes. Mamunia has been one of those songs that has gravitated towards me since as long as I can remember. Yes, it's lightweight, but again, I love, this is where like Paul, Linda, and Denny singing together on it is so strong. To me, really the last minute of the song, when the synthesizer comes in, that is where that's like my earworm. I could listen to that last minute of the song over and over again, and you hear those little spoken words kind of being done. And it's like, I don't know, it's like a chant. It's like a chant, but I love everything coming together, especially in the later half of that song.
Right.
Especially the synth work in Mamunia towards the end. Very understated production. Harmonies and a strong melody throughout it. That's why I love it. It's simple, it's lightweight, but I absolutely love it. I just do.
Yeah, I love that the title is Aramaic, or I think Arabic, I think it was, and meaning safe haven.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
But that's my number 4.
Gotcha. Okay, number 4 for me is No Words. That's about as high as I can do it without arguing with myself with the other 3 songs. As much as I'm fatigued on those other 3 songs, I still gotta put that song where I did. It's I love it. It's in a little ELO-ish, with the violins going on it, and throughout that song. It's almost kind of like a lost ELO song, in my opinion. I love the "You're burning love, sweet burning love." I mean, the higher and higher Paul gets in that bit, I think it kicks ass. Now, if there's any short song of McCartney's that I would love to have been a little longer, it's this one, No Words. I wish.
Yeah, because it just ends so quickly.
Right. But nice guitar solo to end
on the way out. Yeah.
Right. Which you don't have the guitar solo in Let Me Roll It, unfortunately, but you see these people are capable of doing kick-ass guitar solos, and I'm really bitter about the whole Let Me Roll It thing. So, but anyways, Let Me Roll It. I mean, I'm sorry, No Words.
No Words.
Good singing from Denny. Great backing vocals throughout. And Paul's in great voice as well with that when he gets to that high bit.
Absolutely. Just a little falsetto, sure.
Yeah.
And somebody else who agrees with me, Tom Brennan, he has Mamunia at number 4 as well.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Tom. Great mix of acoustic guitar, bass, and percussion. Absolutely. Yeah. But for years, I never knew what they said at the end of that song. You hear like those speaking those words. I think they actually say, every time I hear the same old song, it sounds good and I like it or something like that. That's the
Yeah.
lyric. But I remember reading that in some kind of book or something.
I think that's the track with Ginger Baker on percussions, Ammonia.
I'm ammonia. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Joe, the lavatory Lil needs to be longer. Okay.
Hold on one second here. Let me, a good buddy of mine just, yes. Okay. Thank you for that, Harry. He
What
did
do we got?
correct me. Okay. No, I know. I'm glad because, we're not always correct on everything. And if somebody
No
can,
words?
yeah, no words. It is a McCartney Lane composition. So
Told
thank
you.
you. No, and that's great. There's just so much stinking shit you got to remember with McCartney that you just can't remember everything.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
I told you Lane co-wrote
Yeah.
it.
No, and I'm glad you did. Thank you. And the next time you're wrong, I'll make sure
Tell me, nail me to a cross. Listen. I've always that song I always knew was McCartney Lane. It has
Right.
Denny's so much on that song. You just know
Right.
that he
Right.
did that. All right, so
Okay.
that was your number.
That was my number 4.
Okay, top 3 time. Okay, so you could
Yes.
probably we haven't said some songs, so you could probably guess
Right.
where we are with all 3 of these. I think, and actually,
Yes.
it's just a matter of do we have all 3 of them ranked the same way?
That's right.
We
Oh,
might.
well,
we,
we're gonna find out here.
we might not. My number 3 is Band on the Run, the title track. Yeah, and I kind of hemmed and hawed about putting this 1 or 3. Tom had mentioned like where do we rank these based on fatigue or not, and I kind of did and didn't. I mean, because it's like yes, it's overplayed. Yes, it's the song he's most known for, and
Right.
there's so many other better songs on the album, as we know. But every time I go to a Paul McCartney concert and Band on the Run comes on, I'm like a
Right.
kid in a candy store and I'm losing my
Oh,
mind.
absolutely.
So on that merit and the history of the song and what forget about how good the song is, just the context of the song and what it means for his career. Yeah. Now this is like Abbey Road Side 2, all the
Right.
different parts of it. And again, I actually prefer the live version on Wings Over America. To me, that almost sounds like it's like almost quasi metal a little bit. So
okay,
it's
fair
like
enough.
heavy. It's at the beginning of it's very very heavy. So that's kind of what I always thought. What it's Band on the Run. What more can you
It's
say?
Band on the Run. Exactly.
What more can you say? It
Right.
is the song he's best known for. It's the song that the average person
Absolutely.
walking down the street knows. So yeah, it's my number 3.
When you mention Paul McCartney to the casual music fan, you're gonna, what Paul McCartney songs do you know? You're gonna hear Band on the Run. You're gonna hear Maybe I'm Amazed. You'll hear Live and Let Die. You know, I think those are the 3,
Biggies.
biggies. And that's what number 3. My number 3 is Band on the Run as well. And yeah, I
Okay.
mean, yeah, and if we were doing this in 1974, it probably damn well would have been number 1, because it is that stinking great.
Yes.
However, it's just, yeah, I mean, it's just so overplayed. Now, mind you, there's some songs that get overplayed that I could listen to over and over again. However, McCartney, the Band on the Run is to the point now where it's just so overplayed that, you know, I don't want to hear it.
But you can enjoy other versions. You can enjoy a
Sure.
rare live version. You can enjoy a one hand clapping version.
You can enjoy seeing it live,
Right.
like I enjoyed seeing it live last year when I saw him. It was fine. It was great.
Yeah, Bill Leary said he's not crazy about the Band on the Run single edit. Now, I have not heard the single edit probably in a long, long time, so I'm not really sure what portions were I edited out to be a single. I'm not sure if Tom's listened to it recently.
Yeah, no, not that I recall.
I mean, but Band on the Run off the top of my head here is like, what, over 5 minutes long, right? So,
Band on the Run here is
What,
a whopping 5:11.
right, so definitely they're going to try to tailor that down for FM radio, which
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
get into with my number 2.
Four
Which
four
was-
and a half minutes. Yeah.
4.5. They want to get it down, which I'm sure. And if I had to guess, the Band on the Run edit was that on the Wingspan thing? No, that had to be the full version. I'm sure it was the full version, but I guess it would have been on a single. It must have been on a single single edit for Band on the
Right. Yeah.
for Band on the Run.
Right.
Yeah. So number 2 for me is going to be Jet. So that's my number 2. And then he's laughing because I think he ranked it the same as me.
Right.
Jet, if there's a song that defines like the early 1970s, full of like, slick professional pop, it's Jet. I mean, and if you listen to the second disc of the 25th anniversary Band on the Run or the deluxe archive, it's in there. There's a great section in there with a capital A&R man named Al Curry, and Al talks about Jet being the obvious single, but it really needed to be edited down. But Paul didn't want an edit because it's like he just knew it was commercial. You know, it's got that. You
Right.
just put it on. It's like, wow, that's a single. Dun, 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 dun.
And then the do 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 do
Right.
do, you know, all that synthesizer work too. You know.
Right. So that's like Jet for me, and I love how it's been a staple in his sets for the most of his career. It took a little bit of a break, but
Right.
he's played it a hell of a lot, and I like. I mean, Jet is. I mean, and I think Tom might have actually the single because he collects the singles with the different covers on them and stuff. And there's a really cool single artwork for that. But Jet
You get the
is
Japanese version here.
yeah, he's got it. I mean,
take a look.
Jet. I could listen to Jet, any version of Jet. It's just a great song. But interesting, Paul did not want an edit, so yeah, there it is. So the way it was done was the full length version, which is 4 and change, is on one side, and then the edited version of the single is on the other side. So that Jet's a song I could never ever get tired of. It's why it's my number 2. This full of hooks throughout the whole thing, synth solos, the whole works.
Right. It's a track that's just as good on the album as it is on like Wings Over America Rock Show, and maybe even a little bit better because you know the energy that they perform that song and on Rock Show is just superb. I mean, you watch Joe English wailing on those drums and just going at it on that song. It's just really energizes you and really gets you into that song, which is what that song is. I mean, it's just a shot of adrenaline. Really.
Right, and then he's playing on that freaking Rickenbacker bass, like
Yeah.
going a million miles a minute. I mean, it's unfreaking believable.
Right. And then okay, so yeah, my number 2 is Jet as well. So
Okay.
honestly, we didn't get together and
No.
discuss
No.
this. But yeah, but Jet is again just a good pop record, a good pop rock record. Really, I mean the vocals performance is stellar throughout. I agree with everything you said about this record. But at 4/8, it's really radios. I mean, songs in the '70s, mid '70s. I mean, they were doing minute songs at 4 minutes. Maybe the AM stations were
Maybe.
probably wanting that 3.5 minute mark and really, no longer
But it's
than
all,
that.
it's all. I always laugh when they want to shorten singles in the '70s because the Beatles in
Right.
'68 were like, "Here's Hey Jude, 707.
Yeah,
Don't
deal
touch
with it.
Play
Yeah,
it. Deal with it.
Yeah,
Tough."
exactly. Right. And see, that's the power. And then you assume with that McCartney has all this great power that he can control, the outcome, but no, we learned with Band on the Run. No, I mean, the what we're talking about, what was his name that pretty much forced Paul's hand to put Helen Wheels on the
Al-
US version of,
Al Curry.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, to make it more commercial.
exactly.
And maybe you'll sell more because he put out Helen Wheels first. And the
Yes.
guy was like, no, you put the wrong single out. Put Jet out.
Right.
I think Helen Wheels got to 10. I think initially.
Right.
So Jet coming out is what propelled the album to go up to number 1 again because this album went to number 1, went down, went back to number 1, went down again. It really was up and down because it didn't come out in December of '73 as a number 1. It came out and then worked its way up.
Worked its way up. Yeah, thanks to the strength of Jet and the strength of the single Band on the Run single.
Band on the Run too. So a couple more comments here. Joe says Jet's a big part of his growing up for sure. Susan said she agrees. The Band on the Run single edit, it was so bad that radio didn't even play that version and it was a DJ only single, so we wouldn't have been able to buy it anyway. It was only for radio.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Tom Brennan has no words as his number 2. Cool.
I love it.
He almost put it as his number 1.
Same here, Tom. I almost put No Words as my number 1 as well.
I thought you might put it at 1.
And I really considered it, but when you're really doing it, you have to think, okay, well, am I doing it just for shock value, or am I really being realistic here? What am I doing?
I think you and I came into the same conclusion.
Yeah.
With our rankings in terms of like, would we have ranked Band on the Run like 8th or 9th song because if we were just tired of it, maybe, but you can't.
You can't.
You just can't.
I mean, the fatigue factor can come in only so much. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be tired of a song so much that I'm gonna penalize it to number 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So
Surge has, by the way, great album cover, of course, legendary. shot at Osterley Park in London
Yes.
by Clive Arrowsmith with all those great
Yes.
famous people on the cover.
Yes.
Yeah. Denny does an awesome live version of No Words because Denny
That's
pre-pandemic
right.
was touring and
That's
playing
right.
all of Band on the Run.
Yeah,
Actually,
my cousin David, the original co-host, he got to see Denny in Michigan and said that yeah, he did the whole Band on the Run album.
yeah. Joe says No Words is 9. Tom, is your hat on too tight?
Okay, Joe.
So
Okay.
it's universally for Tom and I. Number one is going to be 1985.
Right. Right.
I was curious where Tom was going to rank that song, and I'm glad that he and I both agree on that. And I think I'm sure he'll agree with and come up with some of his own points. But 1985 to me, it's almost like it could be a movie. It could be another Live and Let Die.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like it could have been
Absolutely.
in a movie.
Yeah.
Everything about it. Obviously, the bookend factor with the album ending with that Band on the Run kind of outro
Right.
again is classic. And then when he dusted it off live in 2012, oh, that was the best.
Mm.
Hearing okay, it was like that deep cut album swing song, and he's playing 1985. Man, I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and he kind of goes through that screaming stuff. But again, good hook, hooks you right away. Piano starts going, dun, 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 dun. You're like, what is this?
One of the great piano rockers in Paul's complete catalog, in my
Oh
opinion.
my God.
That opening piano riff is, I think, just one of the most brilliant of his career.
And then you get and then the bass comes in later. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. You
Yeah,
get a good little
exactly.
rhythm going.
Right.
And then a killer vocal on top of it. Oh my God. And then it builds up in like
Yeah.
that kind of Abbey Road, George Martin way with all the kitchen sink production, orchestra.
And then to add to that, just the brilliance of that long guitar outro to end the
To your point about guitar solos. Yeah.
solos, to end that song is just, again, more brilliance, to
Oh.
that song.
Yeah. And then again, it takes that break. Woo, that's
Right.
like, oh, wings.
Yes.
That's just,
Yeah. After
and then the organ comes in. Ding!
Yeah.
Like, there's so much in this freaking song.
Yeah, because he's got that kind of like a little bit of just a tinge of the Little Richard thing, vocals going on through that
Yes.
song. And then like you said, it just stops and then it goes, ooh. I mean, it just the way he was
And then
able to
oh.
change his voice so suddenly, you know.
Yeah, you have to. It's just it's all over the place, and it's it really it closes out a wonderful album.
Yeah.
Overplayed and as much as it is, and we geek out on stuff like Average Person on Pipes of Peace and Hey Hey and kind of really nerdy McCartney stuff, but in the grand scheme of things, it's still a phenomenal freaking album. It just is. Tom Brennan says he has to put Band on the Run as number one. He never gets tired of hearing it because of all the different
That's great.
sections in the building. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
No, that's
can't
great.
deny a great song as much as we've heard it. You just can't. I think Tom and I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, it was nice. I mean, it was worked back into his set list now for going on 8 years now, so it became a staple again. And you wonder,
Right.
was that like
It's a
the
little
band?
short. He shortened it up a bit.
Yeah, he cut out a verse or so.
Right.
He shortened it a little bit. He did not play it the full way.
Right.
Because the original version has much more of a longer intro. He kind of just goes right into the vocal
Right.
now. But I think the first time we saw him do that was that 12-12-12 show, I think. Maybe. I'd have to go back and look. But I think that was like the Hurricane Sandy relief show.
Right. I
think that was-
when they did the cut me slack with the Nirvana guys.
Yeah.
That one, right?
Yeah, that was that too. So, and it's and the current band, of course, does it justice. Wicks and Rusty and Abe, all those guys, and Brian, they do the song such justice. They really do. Susan says it's hard to top 1995 except with Band on the Run. Yeah,
That's true.
It closes it.
Yeah,
It closes it with
exactly.
a Band on the Run to close it
Yeah,
out.
exactly. And it's true. I mean, "Band on the Run" is the song. I mean, that's when if McCartney never had the Beatles and he had "Band on the Run," it would be "Band on the Run." Paul is dead or whatever. Instead of when he
Right.
does die, it's going to be Beatle Paul. Dead at 100
Right.
135 or something like that. You know.
Couple comments here. Kit, love 1985, but I'd rank it 5. Really hard call, though. Oh, thank you,
Wow.
Joey. He did play at Yankee Stadium. Okay,
Right.
which you and I were both there for. So it was before 12.
Right.
Also, as early as 2010 in Phoenix, which you probably saw.
No, actually, because he was here before I actually moved here.
Oh,
So I mean,
oh,
so
right,
he
right.
was already here.
Right, he was
You
already
know,
there.
yeah, we got here on
Yeah,
April 1st, and he was already here. So
he was already gone. Vivian says 1995 makes you dance. It just rocks. The piano and the bass tied
right,
for first with Band on the Run for you. Good on you there, Vivian.
right, yes,
So
yes,
that's the 9. That's our 9.
yeah, yeah. That's the 9. Great, great album. We're gonna, we'll be talking about it soon on Two Legs. I think it's time. It's been long enough now. I think it's time we do a proper show on Band on the Run, and
Okay. In the new
we get
year.
a yeah, in the new year, exactly. Speaking of shows, we just did a show with buddy Anthony Rotuno, who does the excellent Glass Onion on John Lennon podcast. Some of you may know that I did a show with him a few months back where we talked about the book Riding So High, and we had a lot of fun. So I was trying to find ways to get him on the show, and we talked about just the relationship between John and Paul throughout the 70s. So that's what this show is going to be. It's part 1. A couple months later, we'll do part 2, and there'll probably be a part 3 as well. But we just focused on 70 and 71 for the most part. So we talked about things McCartney said in his press release, things Lennon said in Rolling Stone. Excuse me, you got Paul's Life magazine in 71, you got Ram, you got Imagine. So we talked a lot about that, their relationship through that time, what he said and he said, and
Yeah,
had a lot
tackling
of
the Lennon McCartney relationship throughout the
right.
70s, through the press, through
Yeah,
everything that was kind of the war of words that they exchanged through the musical papers and so forth, and
right.
how that relationship kind of progressed through
Mm,
kind of exchanging barbs and headlines and even on record
yeah,
to eventually kind of getting back to a much better place in terms of those two and how
exactly.
they, before Lennon's life ended.
Right.
So that's kind
Exactly.
of what we're doing with Anthony in this
Right.
series here, which will be
Right.
really fun to do. And that's going to go up on Saturday. A couple more
Yep.
comments here. Julian Carrera says, "Stuck inside these 4 walls has a whole new meaning now." Oh boy, ain't that the truth?
Yes, and I almost incorporated that line in the Facebook post about this tonight,
Uh,
but yeah, I didn't at the last minute. So
yeah. Kid said sounds like a great show. Yeah, really Yeah, looking back at the interviews and stuff, and has really helped kind of go through, kind of navigate this episode. And
right,
Anthony's a great guest to have on to
yeah,
talk about all this stuff with too.
yeah. And
Uh,
if Joe's still watching, Joe, just for you, I did mention that Paul is now practicing preaching practices, so don't worry about it. It wasn't just pick on John. We picked on Paul too.
yeah.
So
Another comment here, a question here. Jamie Hines asks, "Where would you rank Helen Wheels on the list?" So that's a good question. If we were doing the U.S.
yeah,
version, where do we rank it? 10.
middle of the road for me. I'd probably put it, between Mrs. Vanderbilt and No Words. So it probably would have been, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It probably would have been my number 4 or 5.
Yeah, Joe Mayo is still watching. It would have been
Yeah,
4 or 5 for you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Wow.
think Helen Wheels is a good track. I think it's a good rocker. I think it deserves the top 10 spot that it got here in the States.
Okay. I
You
would have
know?
probably put it right after Let Me Roll It. I would have had it. I would have had it between 8 and 9.
Oh, interesting.
I
Okay.
would have had it. Let's see. Tom Brenner, Venus and Mars is really hard to rank. So many good songs. Next week should be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, plus you're starting to get more songs too with that. You got what, 13, 14
13,
tracks?
14 tracks and
Yeah, yeah.
Crossroads too.
Crossroads. Yeah.
Maca Films wants to know: Are we doing Wings Over America for a ranking? We are
No,
not.
no, we are not. We're gonna just stick to the regular studio albums.
Yes, so we will do another series on live albums probably after we're done with the regular
Yeah, yeah,
albums.
yeah,
Tom Brennan
absolutely.
Tom Brennan had Hell on Wheels at 6. Well, it was a top 10 hit. So.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously we're 2 days away from McCartney 3. Yeah, we're
Woo-hoo!
all excited. So as Andy said, this weekend will be our show with Anthony Rotuno. The following week, 26th, that's when we'll have our McCartney 3 review up with the one and only Luca Perazzi, and we all know Luca Perazzi from this guy right here. So we're excited to have Luca back on to talk about McCartney 3. So, however, that will be our last audio show of the year, but we will continue to do this live stream every week with the ranking of the track series.
Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. So thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you all next week with Venus and Mars. And yes, it will probably be a little bit tougher, I think, to rank that one. Some quality, really good stuff there too.
Well, all the songs that Paul don't sing will be the bottom end for me. So that's easy.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then Speed of Sound should be pretty easy.
Oh, that'll be easy too. Yeah. Rhino Junko 10.
Oh, come on, that's not that bad of a song. You put Cook of the House has got to be at least.
Brown rice sugar.
I do want to. Oh, actually, I do want to mention one song that I would have loved to have been on Band on the Run.
What?
And that's a track that was recorded in November of '73. It's still in enough time to be put on Band on the Run, and that's Oriental Nightfish. I'm a big fan of Oriental Nightfish, and we all know Cook of the House was the first Linda lead vocal to go on an album. I really wish that maybe Oriental Nightfish would have found its way on Band on the Run. I think it would have fit the tempo of the album, but I can see by your face that you're not a fan of Oriental Nightfish. But
that would have been a needle skip for just about every person except you.
No, I don't think so. I think it's
bet?
I think it's a groovy track.
Let's take a quick poll. You're like
yay or nay, or yay or nay, Oriental Nightfish.
I'll take the win right now.
Yeah. Whatever.
I mean, on its own as a separate piece, I agree with you. Yeah, but not on Band on the Run.
Oh,
see, nobody's chiming in, so that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, because we're probably they're probably already all gone. So
no, there's 19 people still watching. You need to be fair to the band when you are ranking Venus and Mars at the speed of sound.
Yeah,
fair. Susan says nay.
Okay, fine, Susan.
Macafilm says yay.
Yay! Good on you, buddy. Good on you.
Serge says Tom no can do.
Okay, fair enough. Listen, in my world, Oriental Nightfish would be cool on Band on the Run.
Joe says don't care much for it, but don't skip album tracks.
Yeah. So if he's saying that if Oriental Nightfish was on Band on the Run, he wouldn't skip it.
Okay, we'll give that to you. FD Superstar gives a thumbs down to Oriental Nightfish. I'll take that.
Fine.
So
fine.
Jamie said, Cook of the House is good. Oh, there you go, Tom.
What? I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say Cook of the House is good.
I actually like the live version from Glasgow. I do.
Really?
It's better than the studio one. It is. Because you can hear Paul and Denny on it more.
Okay, fair enough.
That's why.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. Well, let's see. Well, the comments will be up, and, leave your rankings, too, in the comments.
Yes, please do.
After really the live stream.
Yeah,
and those of you that gave us your comments throughout the live stream, thank you very much, because a lot of people did that throughout. They would just say, oh, this is my number 7. So thank you very much. And those comments stay, so they'll be up. So
yes, great. So everybody, thanks again. We will see you next Wednesday for Venus and Mars. Have a great day and a beautiful night as always, everybody. Take care.
Peace out.